What's up? In this video, I'm going to share with you the one secret sauce that's going to help you quiet the noise down and those thoughts that are in your mind. I grew up in the Reddick Projects, which means that I'm a 70s baby. And in the 80s, we were influenced by music and also their artists like Big Daddy Kane, Biz Markie, Rob Bass, and Roxanne Shante, what I'm saying, Run DMC. And they helped shape the way that we dress. They helped shape the way that we did our music. They even helped shape the way that we formed our music groups. We knew exactly what to plan, but we didn't know how to plan and how to obtain the patience that we needed in order to make it happen. A lot of us wanted to just skip over the process of planning and make it happen today. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing that will now bring me to my point. Let me ask you a question. What have you planned last year in order that what you plan will blossom this year? Just let that sink in for a quick second. Because one of the things that I realized, we have what they call the Reddick syndrome. So if you were in a rap group, you weren't talking to anybody else who were in other rap groups. So that if you got a little further, in your rap group than anybody else, anybody who would try to come around while you are at your moment of being famous, you wouldn't want them to be around because they weren't around from the beginning, and vice versa. But we had to sit on the sideline when there was a group that got further along than us because they properly planned. We used to think they planned everything today and did what they planned the same day. And like I said, we didn't know the power of planning. So here's the deal. A lot of times we sit still and we allow for our thoughts to cross us just like the clouds in the sky. They pass through, but when they pass through our mind, we allow for what passed through to dominate. Rather, it's the beautiful clouds that are nice, white and fluffy, or it's those dark clouds that hold a lot of rain. Those are your thoughts, and unless you have your mind and the space occupied with the power of planning, you're going to always have those thoughts that come through your mind that will keep you overthinking, that will keep you doubting, and will also allow for you to follow those clouds or those thoughts, So at the end of the day, in order for you to stay grounded, you have to plan. So when you plan your day, you want to make sure that you plan minimally. Because at the end of the day, here's the deal. If you give yourself too much to do in one day, what's going to happen? You're going to overload yourself. And here come the voices. The voices come when you're sleeping, you're tired, and you have low energy, But the whole objective is to preserve your energy. When you preserve your energy, will come through the power of planning. So when you plan, here's the deal. You want to at least have at least 3 things that you could accomplish within that particular day. You want to know the difference between a project and an assignment. When you look at a project, you know what happens with your projects? You know that that's the big things. I got to go in the closet, get all those papers and shred each and every paper. I want to go and I want to make sure I paint the house or paint the apartment, want to change the towels that's in the kitchen or something like that. But when you look at your assignments, I want to take out the garbage. I want to wash the dishes. I want to make sure the beds are made and all of that other stuff. Wash your face. I want to wash the clothes and make sure that everything is together, right? And those are your assignments, compared to your projects. Don't make a project your assignment and the 3 things that you have to accomplish within a day because you're going to overload yourself, like I said the first time, But when you focus on your plan, right, you keep things to a minimum, and that will give you the ability to finish your plan. When you finish your plan, you feel accomplished. When you finish your plan, you feel like you're confident again. When you finish your plan, you're only going to do the same routine every single day and have a plan per day. So that when you sit down in your home, instead of allowing for these thought clouds to pass by and allow for you to follow it and overthink stuff and, indulge in doubt, you're going to not only look at what you've done, but you're going to think about what you're going to do tomorrow. And I'm going to tell you something. You're going to get a piece of paper and you're going to write these things down. Can I tell you something? Here's a little tip that you want to take with you. Anything that's not written is not real. So you got to plan your day, right? Follow only what's on that paper. Stay focused and watch how you feel not only accomplished, but you feel confident. Don't forget, planning is not going to stop thoughts, but it will quiet it. You see what I'm saying? I'm not here to make you feel better. I'm here to make you better at feeling. And if you want to further information that I've given you and you felt that it resonated with you, why don't you hop on a coaching call with us on this up and coming Thursday night at 8 o'clock with a family and a community that is excelling and elevating their mind, and coming out of existential anxiety and coming out of those thought files and those clouds that used to dominate them, that allow for them to overthink. Listen, click the link and I'll see you there. Peace.